Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are continuing our top 100 countdown, beginning with the number 80. But before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, and of course hit that bell icon if you want notification of any future content.
Or you can click on the link below and see all of our social media.
Okay. All right, well, are you,
80.
I got a lot of actually very new ones on this one. I don't know if they're new games, but at least first time we've played them games types things, yeah.
This one has 4. That's new to the list.
We played a lot of games this year, though, so it definitely drug a lot of newer games to us into the list. So, all right, well, we'll start with my number 80. My number 80 is one we picked up at Gen Con and was one of the big hits at Gen Con, actually. In this one, you are playing 2 little bitty gnomes trying to make fairy rings. This is a tile drafting game. There's a number of tiles out on the main board, and you are drafting 2 of them per turn and putting them onto the central display that everybody's building on the exact same board. And you're trying to create fairy rings with mushrooms in them, because when you're able to close one, you get the mushrooms that ring portrays, and those mushrooms now become a set collection aspect that you can trade in for points later on. But however, in order to claim the fairy ring you're building, you have to physically put a gnome on it, so nobody else can take it. But that means that gnome...
Did you say the game?
This is Gnome Hollow. This was actually one of the big things at Gen Con. The balloon statue was done after it. Was this last year or the year before last?
This was last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my newer games to the list, so I imagine it was. Anyhow, it's a very interesting, like I said, tile placement, set collection type of game. I really enjoy this one. But anyway, that is my number 80, Gnome Hollow.
I'm not sure where that came in mine, but okay. So my number 80 is not on your list of top 300 games, I doubt.
Okay.
Have any guess?
No.
It's a game I really like, but we don't get played much. We have 2 different versions of it. One in our main collection is the older version, and the newer version's in the travel collection. Now she's totally stumped. This is Galaxy Trucker.
Oh, yes.
This is at part a real-time game.
I wish I had my
so to speak, I
full
guess.
500 on here, because I would tell you where it was.
But this is where at the beginning of the game, there's a big pile of tokens out in the middle of it, and you have a sheet in front of you with the outline of a ship you need to build. You start, everybody says go, you start flipping tiles, and as soon as you flip one over, you just leave it flipped over. And you're taking whatever you need to build your tiles. As you're getting closer to the end, there's a timer up there, you can turn the timer over, and there's like 3 times the timer gets turned over. The 3rd time, you have to stop. Once everything's stopped, then you're going to take that ship and pick up cargo and stuff, depending on the cards that gets flipped over.
Hope you're going to pick up cargo.
You could get raided, you could get blown up, you could be getting hit by a meteor storm. The whole goal is to see how much of your ship's going to be left to cross the finish line.
Well, that's not the goal of the game, but it is certainly a byproduct of the game. The
goal of the game is to get across the finish line and see how much of your ship is left. Because you're not going to make it through the whole thing with your whole ship intact.
It's very rare.
So you need to build that ship in a way that's going to hold the cargo in towards the middle there, or however.
So you hope you can get the cargo to the finish line to get the points.
Yeah, because if your cargo's out here and that whole side of the ship gets cut off, say goodbye. But I love this game. She hates this game.
I hate the chaos of this game.
But that is my number 80, Galaxy Trucker.
All right, my number 79 is another new one. This was a Kickstarter that revolves around building a theme park. This is Theme Park Mania.
Oh, okay.
We've only gotten to play it once. It intrigued me at the time as to what you were doing to build out the park. I with more plays, I don't know which direction this one's going to go. I could see it going either way. Either climbing up higher in my love for it, or getting frustrated with it. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. But right now, I'm sitting at that intrigued area.
Yeah. Intrigued as of how will it play with more players.
Yes.
Because we've played it 2 players.
We played it 2 players. Okay, so with Theme Park Mania, you've got a number of meeples that you've got one main meeple that is trying to get around the park, trying to visit as many attractions as he can. And when he gets there, you leave one of your little meeples behind to show that you've been to that attraction. The first player to visit all of the attractions wins the game. Throughout the game, one of your options is to build attractions or you can build the big attractions or you can build the small stuff that goes around the attractions. And if you can make them match up, that's more points. But meanwhile, you're building paths, and the attractions have to be built on a path, so the paths have to be built first, but you've got to build them in such a way that you allow for not only the main attraction there, but for smaller attractions around it. Except I'm kind of intrigued with it. I don't know where it's going to end up next year. I definitely want to play it a couple more times and see how it goes. But yeah, that is currently my number 79 Theme Park Mania.
Okay. My number 79, I'm not sure if you like this one or not.
Okay.
We've gotten a play through it at the Dice Tower Retreat. This is Thunder Road Vendetta.
I enjoyed our playthrough of it.
Okay.
I did enjoy our playthrough. It was a lot of fun.
We got to play this 6 players at the Dice Tower Retreat with me, you, Jeff Knapp, Joey
Evans, and a couple other people. I don't remember. Colin and somebody else. I don't remember who the 6th person was.
I don't remember either. But anyway, but this is basically Mad Max, the board game.
It really is.
This is all about, you have cars, you're starting at the beginning, you have this road set out in front of you with these obstacles and everything on it, and you're rolling your dice and you're placing your dice on your player board as to the actions you're going to do. But you're going to do your actions on your board and then move your cars, and the whole thing is to be the last car to the end, the first car to the end, or last car standing, so to speak.
Yes.
But as you're going, you're crashing into other people. You're bouncing them off of you, hoping into stone walls or rocks, or right off the board, or just crushing them. Period. There's helicopters that are flying over that can take out things. It's just total chaos.
It was down to me and Colin.
I think, you and
Colin took me out with a helicopter.
Yeah, Jeff went out first with his little motorcycles because they got bounced around like ping pong balls.
They did.
And then I think I may have been the second one out.
I don't remember.
I just remember because at one of mine, I crashed myself because I tried to take a smaller car into a larger car, and it bounced me off and sent me into a rock and blew me up. But it's really because you leave the car and you're just sitting there on the board. It makes it even more dramatic.
So it's harder to get through for everybody who's behind you.
This is one, unfortunately, we don't own.
No.
But I'll play it whenever somebody has it and wants to play it. So that is 79. That's Thunder Road Vendetta.
My number 78 was 73 last year, so it's same ballpark. Probably because we just haven't played it. I think that's probably why it dropped just a hair. This is a polyomino building a bear theme park, bear zoo. This is Barron Park. Barron Park, it is a polyomino game at heart. You start off with just a little bitty board, a 4x4 board that you are putting park pieces into, and when you get to a certain spot, the board is filled with different icons, and when you cover up the specific icon, you get to add a second piece to the board, and you do this a total of 3 times. So you have your ultimate park is 4 4x4 boards. And you can add them on any way you want. They can be any shape you need them to be. Your polyomino tiles can overlap the boards. They overlap the base boards. But ultimately, you're wanting to get various different types of bears into your park. And the game comes, I think, with 4 different types of bears. And I think the expansion came with 1 more. But I just think it's a very interesting game. Once you get down to just 1 space left on the board, you can put a statue on there, and those statues are worth points. So the faster you get to them, the better, because the good ones are on top. The good ones always get bought up first, right? That's the way life goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really enjoy this one. I enjoy the puzzle of it. I enjoy the fact that the polyomino is, it's not the same board every time. It's not just a giant
Right.
8x8
Yes.
board. You can maneuver your park however you need to. But yeah, anyway, that is Barron Park, my number 78.
I like the expansion because it adds the monorail to it.
Yes. Yeah, the expansion adds, it takes it up a level, and I just think that's neat. Yes.
Okay, my number 78 is a game that we got to play at Gen Con for the first time a couple years ago. It's one that I've been hearing about and wanting to play. Finally got to play it at Gen Con, me, you, and Root Shirt Guy. But this is Dice Realms.
Okay.
This is all about, everybody starts off with the same dice, and it's one of those you can take parts of the dice off and add to it.
Dice construction.
And that's the whole game. You're rolling your dice to be able to get points, to get different things, to be able to get new pieces for your dice, to roll better things, to get more points, and so on.
Yeah.
And I just love those dice construction games because I like Dice Forge, but now I like Dice Realms a lot better than Dice Forge.
I think we ended up getting rid of Dice
Yes, we got rid of Dice Forge.
Yeah.
Yep. But I like this. If you like dice construction or have never played dice construction games, try this one out. This is really fun.
Yeah. And I think it's been reissued, so it's easier to find now.
Is it? But anyway, that's number 78.
Yes.
Dice Realms. Like I almost said Dice Forge.
My number 77 has been one I've been a fan of for a very long time. Last year it ended up at 106, and I'm not sure how. This year it has come up, I think because it showed up in one of our other top 10s, and that brought it back to my mind, and I want to get this one back to the table. Anyway, this is Cinque-Terre.
Cinque-Terre.
However, whatever.
It's Italian.
It's Italian. Right. With Cinque-Terre, you are basically a farmer running around the Italian countryside, picking up produce in the various farms up in the hills, and then bringing them down into one of the 5 towns and trying to sell them at the best price. Hopefully you can sell them in cities that will line up with what customers want, and that gets you victory points. I just really like the puzzle of this one.
Trying to get all the orders.
Yeah, to get everything to line up.
Yeah.
Because again, it's all dealt with in a deck of cards.
Yep.
So you can only pick up what you have the cards for, and then you have to be in the right location to get those. I really like that. But yeah, this is one of my favorites, pick up and deliver games. But this is Cinque-Terre, my number 77.
I guess I should look. My number 77, I'm not sure what your thoughts on this game, because this is one of those games that you can't seem to beat me at. I think you've beat me at least once at it, though. But
we've got a few of those games.
But this is a new one, and our newest soon-to-be-released game playthrough of this is
Bear Mountain Camping
I couldn't remember. This is Bear Mountain Camping Adventures. This is a brand new Kickstarter release. From Sweater Bear Games.
Yeah.
This is all about trying to get to Bear Mountain. You got all these different campsites out there that you're trying to get to, but it's a resource management dual deck building game. Yeah. The dual deck building game comes in by you are buying cards with the resources of the cards that you're playing.
Yes.
Because you're going to play out cards and they're going to have resources on it. You get those resources and now you can buy cards, or you can use those resources to go up into the next section of campgrounds, which will cost a certain amount of resources to get more cards. And when you move campsites, because you have to move a campsite every turn, that'll tell you what kind of cards you'll have for the next round, whether it's the blue cards or the green cards. Yeah. But yeah, so you're trying to build this deck. You don't really want to build it too big. But you want the stuff you need to get in there, because one of the things you need at the end to get into Bear Mountain, which is the last place you can go, is 2 resources of everything and an off-roading card in your hand.
Yeah.
You have to have it in your hand to be able to go in. You can't have it in your deck. You have to have it in your hand at the time you're ready to go in. So it's really cool of how to do that, and there's a way you can get going on that to rush the ending if you want. There's a thing, if you go into the next color campsite first, you get this little coin, which every round you have it. At the beginning of the round, it's going to give you a coin. There's trailers in the base game where you are, or campers, that you upgrade that allows you to keep a certain amount of resources from round to round and do different things. There's a bunch of those. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I beat you twice. The very first play we did on the front side of the board, and then I have beat you on the back side of the board on Legend of the Falls version of the game.
Yeah, which is a deluxe version.
Yes.
But yeah, that is number 77.
77.
Yes, 77. Bear Mountain Camping.
Like you didn't believe me or something. My number 76 is the second Legacy game to show up on the list. It'll probably be the last Legacy game to show up on my list. This is one we are actually only about 2/3 of the way through playing. We were going to finish it when we get to the T's. This is Ticket to Ride. What is the full? Legends of the West. I wanted to say Trails to the West, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
No.
Legends of the West. We started playing this one because we've always been big fans of Ticket to Ride. I think it's a great lightweight game. And we've introduced it to a lot of people and everybody's loved it. So we wanted to check out this one because we've heard such good things about it. And I love the fact, and this is not a spoiler because everything I've ever seen about this tells you this. You are literally building the board as you go.
Yep.
You start off with the East Coast and you are building out toward the West as, we did 150 years ago when the country was built.
Yeah, and it's cool because whatever you're doing is going to depict on what the next board is that comes out.
Well, actually, I guess it was more than 150 years ago. But anyway, you get the idea. As the game progresses, you are adding more train routes to your list. You're adding more cities to the list. There is a lot going on, and I cannot say a lot without giving spoilers away, but it is by far one of my favorite legacies so far.
Yeah. I agree.
I think there's a lot.
I'm not sure where it came in at though, but I agree.
I'm looking forward to finishing it.
I don't know if I have any legacies in here or not.
I don't know. This is my second one. I'm looking forward to finishing it when we get to the T's. We specifically decided we're going to wait till we get to the Ticket to Rides, and we'll finish it then, so we can talk about all the Ticket to Rides together.
Now you got me curious.
And it's still fresh. Sorry. But that is my number 76, Ticket to Ride, Legends of the West. And you're going to look, aren't you?
Yes, you got me. It may or may not be seen later.
Okay. In other words,
okay.
You like it better than me.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, so my number 76 is I almost said Dudes on the Map, but it's an adventure type game. We've only played it twice.
Okay.
I want to get this to the table more because there are expansions in this house that needs to be played for it, though. This is Deep Rock Galactic.
I had a feeling
I
that's
have
what it was.
enjoyed both plays that we've had of this. We played this on the first 24-hour marathon for us.
Yeah. We forgot to turn the audio on for the first 15 minutes, but that's okay.
Right.
Maybe we need to do a redo of that one.
That was producer Justin's fault. But anyway, this is all about what's really cool about this game is that it's taking the world of fantasy, like Dungeons and Dragons fantasy, into space.
Yes.
Because you are dwarven miners.
Wasn't this based on a video game?
Yes, this is a video game.
Okay, that's what I thought.
This is why Eric has this game now,
Yes.
because he played this video game.
Okay.
Anyway, but you are dwarven miners in space, going to different planets and moons with a list of minerals you need to mine out of that area.
Okay.
But you get dropped off. As soon as you get dropped there, the ship leaves once everybody's off of it. And it won't come back till you have your list done. Sounds easy? No. There are bugs there and monsters there that you have to fight off while you're trying to mine. And you have to just dig and mine. You don't really know where things at. You do because of the way the board's set up, though. But you don't know if there's any surprises along the way. Bugs could attack. The one thing I think is really thematic about this, if you get knocked over, it will take your entire turn to stand back up. Or if somebody comes over, they can take part of their turn and help you up because you're a dwarf in this huge armoring space suit.
Takes a minute.
But it is such a blast to play to see, can we get in there, get everything, and get out with everybody? Because I believe it says as long as one person gets back with all the minerals, you still win.
Good. Yeah.
But the trick is, can you get everybody back, though, too? So.
Yeah.
But there's drop ships that come in every once in a while to drop you supplies if you need it. It's a blast to play.
Yeah.
So that's my number 76, Deep Rock Galactic.
All right. My number 75 is one of the Steffenfeld City Collection. This was actually one of the newer ones that was not a remake, to my understanding. This is Marrakesh. This is kind of interesting because the player board is just this mesh of colors. And that's where, in my mind, everything's happening. Yes, all the points are garnered on the main board. And there's a lot going on over there, but I love the mechanisms used in on the player board. So on your turn, you're putting your 3 assistants out. But before you can do that, you're secretly choosing 3 out of 12 colored discs, cylinders. And you're choosing those 3, and then once everybody's revealed which 3 they're dropping, because you don't want to know what everybody else is doing before you decide yours, then you are placing out your assistants on your board in the spot of those 3 colors that you just chose. And then all of those cylinders are gathered up and dropped into the tower. It's basically a cube tower. Most of them should come back out, but not always. So
just like any cube tower.
Just like any cube tower. So it could dislodge ones that were put in there on previous turns. It could dislodge, it could keep some that were just put in. Once everything's fallen out, it's rearranged. Now everybody round robin gets to choose a set of the cylinders. You can take 1 or 2. 1 if there's only a single, because you can only take 1 color at a time.
Right.
So you can take 1, or you can take 2 if they're the same color. Then you put them on your board. Now you have choices as to what you're activating on your board. Your assistants are where they were. You may or may not have gotten the colors that help enhance those, though. So once you pick up cylinders, those stay on your board for the rest of the game. So maybe I chose the white action and I just picked up 2 white cylinders. I get to do that action at a strength of 2. Great. But maybe I placed the green and I didn't grab any green cylinders, and I don't have any already from a previous turn. I can do it at a strength 0. It's not going to be very powerful, obviously. Or I can just say, okay, I'm not going to do my action this turn. I'm taking a green cylinder and I'm putting it on my board. So next time I choose green, I actually get something out of it. I'll get a little more benefit out of it. So you're never out of options. You can always build the cylinders, and the more cylinders you have on your board, the stronger your actions get. And the actions are all different things. It's getting resources, it's buying tiles, it's putting bridges on your board. It's a lot of different things. But I love that cylinder action, that mechanism with the I want to say dice tower. It's not really a dice tower, it's a cube tower. But yeah, anyway, that's my number 76. Is that where we're at? 75. Marrakesh.
Okay, my number 75. I gotta look again. This is a game when we first saw it, was like going, that looks hideous. Yeah, it doesn't look like a game. And we have since played it probably at least 6 times now, maybe 8 times, because every time we played at least twice in a row, because it's so easy to set up.
Okay.
This is, I gotta make sure I get the title right.
Things and Rings.
Things and Rings. I always say rings and things.
That's the only one you ever get wrong. Well, not the only one.
Things in Rings. This is all about, there is a person called the knower. You have the Venn diagram in the middle with a red ring, a blue ring, and a yellow ring. I keep saying green.
Green?
Yeah, green. Anyway, but, and then you have like context.
It's context. Oh
anyway,
my gosh.
It has 3 subjects on it. And then you have cards in your hand that tell you that you're looking for these in those different colors. Cards that would represent what this says on your card.
It's like attributes of the word, like how the word is made up,
context
physically
of
made
the
up.
Word.
How it's used in society.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the third one is
I
now.
don't either.
But anyway, regardless.
Similarity of the word or something
No.
like it has 2 L's in it.
Well, that's the makeup
okay, yeah,
of the
that's
word.
true. Anyway,
I'll think about it.
No biggie though. But so, and then everybody starts off with 7 cards.
Physical properties. Yes, 7 cards.
7 cards, I believe, and then the knower has to put out 3 of those cards to give an idea of what are kind of in the areas, and he's going to put it out where he needs to put it out, where he thinks it fits, depending on what you got. So you get 5 cards. Anyway, and then everybody goes around on each turn. They will put out a card, and they'll put it out where they think it is, and the knower decides, does it belong there, or does he need to move it? If he needs to move it, he'll move it someplace else, and that person draws another card, and it goes to the next player. If he gets it right, that person gets to do another card, and the whole goal of the game is to get rid of all of your cards. First person without any cards wins the game.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I said, we've always played this a minimum of 2 times because somebody at the table wants to take their chance of being the knower because it looks so easy.
It's not real. I mean, it isn't
it's
hard.
Not hard.
It's just depends on the way you.
A lot of the things out there are subjective.
Yes.
So, and that's the big thing. How the word is made up, nope, it's pretty simple. Are there double letters? Is it 5 letters? Is it 8?
Yes.
Whatever. That's a pretty cut and dry.
But
I had
one
position in society.
One of mine was, it has points on it.
Oh.
And you had forks in there, you had knives in there, you had a blade of grass in it, because the grass has a point to it.
Oh, how
but then somebody laid down a field. Like going, well, it has grass. Grass has points, but it's the entire field, and a field don't come to a point. So I put it that it was none.
Right.
It's subjective the way you see it. So it's always, you got to be able to get into the knower's head. It's like going, how is he visioning what's out here on the board?
Yeah.
Because there's areas like, does it match 2 of them? So it goes in there. Does it match all of them? Or it goes in the middle?
If
you know how a Venn diagram works, you know what I'm talking about, though. But it's just really interesting. And I was like, going, man, I don't know if I'd ever want to be the knower. But the last time we played it, I was a knower. And I was like, well, it's actually kind of fun being the knower, because you're like, it's so easy, people. How do you not see what's going on? But you don't. You're like going, because you're like, oh, I know what that is now. So this card's going to go there for sure.
No, it's not.
No, it's a none. What? Wait, no? What?
I just totally blew everything I thought I knew about that subject.
It's a very brain-burny game, though.
It is a lot of fun.
So
I really enjoy this one.
75?
Yes.
Yep, 75 Things in Rings.
Yeah, we overlooked that one for a long time when we were looking at games to buy. We passed it up at Gen Con and I think Geek Way to the West, and we finally picked it up after playing it. Where did we find? We played it at the retreat.
Yes,
finally, somebody pulled it out, and we're like, okay, fine, we'll play, and it was good. My number 74 is another new one to the list. This is not a new game. It's just this is the first time we've gotten to play it. Was this year. This is a tableau building. Marbles equal energy. This is Gizmos. This is an interesting one. There is a bin of marbles out there, single file, basically a trail that comes down on the marble container that you get to pick from occasionally. Everybody has basically what's called a dashboard in front of them, and you are laying out cards to build a tableau and to build an engine. It's an engine building game, essentially. There's 6 different options on the console in front of you, on your player board in front of you. You've got your upgrades, and this tells you basically what you're allowed to do, how much you're allowed to keep. How many marbles can you keep in reserve? How many cards can you keep on file over here that you haven't built? How many cards you get to look at when you do a research action? But there's 4 different actions you can do on your turn. You can build some of the cards you either have in reserve or something you've just picked up. You can file stuff away. You can research stuff. You can pick. Picking is picking marbles out of the display so that you have your energy to build your tableau with. I lost this game horribly. I don't think I've ever won this one, but I remember really enjoying that engine, trying to get that engine built.
Yeah, this is definitely a true engine building game.
It is really
you got to get
interesting.
that going, and once you get it going, it
goes. Because as you're building your cards, each card will let you do something. If I build something with a red marble, I get to do this. If I build something with so you get that engine going, and it gives you, it balloons. It
balloons.
Cascades.
Your action continues to go and go and go.
Yeah, I really like that one. But anyway, that is my number 74, Gizmos.
Gizmos. My number 74 is a game we've had for a little while.
Okay.
It is a push your luck game.
Okay.
And I think a couple of years, Root Shirt Guy upgraded our game. This is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
I like this one. Okay.
Yeah, Root Shirt Guy bought us all the upgraded Geek bits and boxes and everything. Just kind of a gift for allowing him to stay here for Gen Con. This is about push your luck. It's a bag building game where you're drawing out potion stuff into your cauldron and putting it down, and each piece will tell you how far ahead you can put it, but you don't want as many of the white, whatever the flower thing.
Yeah, you don't want the white ones. Those blow up after a while.
Yeah, you only can have a certain amount of that, and then it blows up. So you're trying to get out as far as you can to get more points to be able, and money to buy more pieces to put in your cauldron to make it worth more points. But you don't, like I said, you don't want it to blow up.
It's a good one.
Yeah, as far as you go is the points you get. But yep, it's a great little bag building pressure-like game. So that is Quacksaquedlinburg number 74. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
My number 73 last year was 121. I think it rose a little bit this time because we got a chance to play it this past year. This has always been one of my favorites. This is Lost Cities, the board game. Now, I enjoy the card game. The board game is played with the exact same mechanism. You've got 5 different colors of cards that you're playing out, and you have to build them in ascending order or descending order. No, ascending order, 1 to 10. And you've got a hand of cards, but if you're playing out blues and, oh great, I've got a blue 2. Fantastic. I'll play down the blue 2. Well, now you can no longer play the blue 1. It's dead to you. But if the next blue card you have is a 7, you've just lost all those extra cards. So you want to try to stay as close in consecutive order as you can. The difference with this, with the board game over the card game, is you're not just dealing with the cards now. Every time you lay down a card of a certain color, you're moving one of your guys on the track, on the board. And there's 5 different tracks leading to 5 different archaeological digs down into the caverns. And as you are moving along each path, they're doing different things. There are tokens set out along the paths that will give you points. They will give you ability to jump someplace else. So you can kind of snowball those a little bit. It gives you artifacts. Artifacts equal points at the end of the game, or at the end of each round, I should say. You play the game in 3 total rounds. But as you're laying out, you've got 5 archaeologists. You can get all 5 of them out. But if you try to get all 5 of them out, you will never get all 5 of them, or even one of them down. So you find that you have to focus on 3, maybe 3 of them at most. And you try to focus in those colors and try to get as many of those down so you can get him all the way to the end. Because, man, that last room is 50 points. Yeah. That's huge. But the round ends as soon as 5 people have crossed 5 adventurers. Doesn't matter how many people are playing, when 5 adventurers have crossed the bridge. So I like the fact that it keeps the game at the same amount of time, no matter how many turns you're getting. Yeah. No matter how many people are playing, 5 people cross the bridge, round's over.
Yep. I do like it has the bigger archaeologist.
That gets double.
It'll double the points.
Yes, he gets double of everything, which is nice. But yeah, I have always really enjoyed this one. Don't get me wrong, I love the card game, but I like the difference of that archaeologist gaining you your points instead of cards gaining you your points. But yeah, that is my number 73, Lost Cities, the board game. Lost Cities, the board game.
Okay. My number 73 is new to my list because it's a newly delivered Kickstarter from a few months ago, though. But this is Deep Shelf. Oh. This is the new one from Ninth Haven Games. This is all about the world is about to is dying, basically. And you're trying to get off the planet, but the only place you can get the resources to get the things to get off the planet is in the depths of the ocean. So you are mining companies basically going out into the ocean and going deep into the ocean to get the minerals that you want. So you are building buildings out there so you can get down lower. You've got divers or subs that go down to get things out. You've got extractors to pull things out.
I like the card play mechanism on it.
Yes.
Because you play 2 cards per game. Or per round, I should say, not per game. That'd be a very short game. Yeah. You play 2 cards per turn. And 1 card is, you just do the action on. The second card, depending on the card it is, if you play it in your second action slot, you get a bonus action. You get a little bit of a stronger action. However, whatever you played in that second action,
you lose that card
gets slid over, and you can't touch it again until the next turn.
Until the next turn.
And then you play your 2 cards. and then you pull that card back and your first card back, and then what's
The
now in
second
your
card
second
now
slot
goes
slides
over
over.
into there.
So it's this constant rotation, but it keeps you from doing those really powerful movements more
Yeah.
than every other turn.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that you have storage areas, but you start off with just minimal storage,
Yeah.
and you can upgrade your storage areas with that. It also has a little upgrading system over here, kind of like in Eclipse.
Yes.
Where you're upgrading your ships to do different
You
things.
get better subs.
To get, your sub becomes
Increase your
better
sub,
and all that. And the way you can do it is there's a bonus to it or a discount to it depending on how many
Yeah.
pieces are up on the top of the different areas that you're getting. It's just really interesting. There's a lot more to explore this game. I feel the more I explore it, the more I'll like it.
Yeah. I have a
So-
feeling this will be one that the more we explore it, the higher it's going to go on both of our
Yep.
lists.
But right now, this is at 73 deep shelf.
I don't know if this one made my list, only because I don't feel like we've played it enough yet for me to fully grasp all of its potential.
Yeah,
So,
I'd like to
but
play
anyway.
the other factions and see how they do.
Yes, agreed. All right, my number 72 is new to my list. Again, I don't think it's a new game. It's just the first time we've gotten to play it. We picked this one up kind of on a fluke. I don't even remember why we picked it up. I don't remember if we played it first or not, but this is Mountain Goats. Mountain Goats is a dice chucking game where you kind of like can't stop, where you're chucking 4 dice and then you have to pair those dice up to make numbers to move your goats up the mountain. There are mountains depicted from 5 to 12, and once you chuck your dice, you are looking at all your dice and making sets or individual dice. If you have a bunch of 5s and 6s, that guy races up the mountain. But you're racing your goats up the mountain in an effort to get there first, because once you're there, you stay there until somebody else kicks you off. Every turn that you're there, you take a point chip. And that's that many points at the end of the game. Man, if you can get to the top of the 10 and stay there, that's 10 points every single turn until somebody kicks you off. Game ends when there's so many point chip piles gone, essentially, and then you just total up your points. But I like that dice chucking mechanism. I like that I don't know. It's a super easy to set up.
You like
super
being the king of the
fun
mountain.
game. I like being king of the mountain. That's right. That's it. Anyway, my number 72, Mountain Goats.
This is one that I'm surprised it did not make my list, because it did not.
It's so simple, you don't think about it much, but yet I've enjoyed every single play we've ever done.
Oh yeah, I love to play.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 72 is a game we've had for probably almost since the beginning of time, or well, our time in the hobby.
Okay, I was gonna say really at the beginning.
This
of
one
time?
we bought not knowing anything about the game, and we bought it off a discount shelf, a clearance shelf actually, at a game store that we don't really visit to anymore much. This is loved by a Dice Tower employee.
That
We have
doesn't
played
help.
with him.
Okay.
We played with him at
okay.
a Dice Tower retreat one year.
Wow,
This
okay.
is Coal Baron.
All right.
This is a kind of a pickup and delivery, have kind of a pickup and delivery aspect though, but it is a action selection with your workers. But the goal of this game is you are trying to fill orders on trucks from your coal mines. So you're going to need to buy coal chutes, basically, different levels. There's top to bottom. There's like four or five different levels.
I'll say this
One side's lighted, one side's not lit.
yeah.
So you're going to try, some of your actions is to go down there and get the coal over and bring it up, load it up on the trucks. You've got to get the trucks. So you're going to this big board on the top to get these actions, to buy new coal carts, to buy transportation, to get money and get orders and stuff. So, but with the whole coal carts, you got to keep it balanced from side to side. Your lit up side cannot be more than your darkened side, the coal
versa.
carts on each row, or you're going to pay a penalty for it though. So,
Yeah.
but it's just a cool game of balancing your coal mine so that you're not losing points, but still getting that coal out and getting it out and keeping yourself some money, because you need the money too. And the cool thing about this is somebody goes to a place and you wanted that place, you could still go there. You just got to pay one more person than what's already there. And then you kick them basically to what they say, the lunchroom.
Yeah.
You kick them out of the way, and then you can take the action. Then they could come back and do the same thing, just pay one more action and kick you to the lunchroom. there's just a $1 bill and you go there and get $1.
Yeah.
So there's ways to mitigate getting your money, getting this, and it's just a fun puzzle trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do this turn to be able to make this happen? And then there's that scoring wheel at the bottom where it's going to score certain things. Like this round, it's going to score like the darker coal, or this one is going to score if you delivered it by horse and buggy, and and that.
You're going to get
it's
extra
just really
scoring
cool.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
But
it's a lot of fun. This is number 72, Coal Baron.
All right. And finally, my number 71. This will be higher on your list, I can guarantee it. My number 71 is probably the only true racing game on my list. This is Heat Pedal to the Metal.
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, Heat was, what was that last year? Last year it was 78. So it's right in the same ballpark. I think it has probably climbed just a hair this year because we have been playing a lot of it.
We've been doing the seasons.
Yeah, we've been playing through the seasons. I think we just finished season 3 of it.
We just started the next season.
I don't remember. Anyway, but we've been playing through the seasons with our son and daughter-in-law once a month, playing through a race. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
So I've very much enjoyed it. So Heat is a racing game where how your turn progresses depends on, one, the speed that you're going, and two, or not necessarily the speed you're going, the gear you're in, plus the cards you're playing down.
Yep.
Each step of the gear shift allows you to play that many cards. So if I'm in second gear, I play 2 cards that round. If I'm in third, I play 3. And the cards dictate how fast you're going to go. And the cards range anywhere from 0 to 6, with possible bonuses depending on different things. So you're laying down these cards, you're trying to keep yourself up in gear, so that you don't have to slow down when you get to the straightaways. But yet you've got to get through these tight corners doing next to nothing. Some of these corners have a speed of 2. So if you go through them going very quickly, you're going to crash. I just find it very interesting that trying to save my low cards for when I get to those corners, so I can stay in third gear and still play 3 cards and still only hit a 2 or 3 speed. You know, it's a challenge. It's a lot of fun. It's fun. It's not so fun when I'm blocked, because that happened a lot the last race, I think. But it is still a fun game.
Yeah, I enjoy this game just to watch her enjoy a racing game and how competitive she is in this game. She can be ruthless in this game.
I'm not ruthless. I just like to stay ahead.
She gets to last place. Look out.
Anyway, that is Heat Pedal to the Metal, my number 71.
My number 71 is the first of a few Steffenfeld games on this list.
Okay.
This is a crossover with you. Of your 79 or something like that. This is Marrakesh.
Okay, 75.
75. All right. Everything pretty much you said. I was like, how am I going to explain this game? Well,
there you go.
Rewind, go back to her and listen, because it's pretty much, that is it. I mean, I love that the cube tower just makes it perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I like on the bottom of the cube tower how it is gridded out with the different colors. So when all of them come out, you just kind of scatter them around into the different colors where they need to go.
Just
so you can easily just pick up what you need, though. But yeah, just that secrecy of, okay, I am going to play these this time.
I'm going to hope to get these actually.
I'm hoping that they're not going to play them so I can have access to those cubes when they come out, and hope they make it out.
Yeah.
And then do that, and then see where you're at, and that each area kind of upgrades.
Yes.
You can upgrade the areas to do better things and everything. I do like this, and it's Steffenfeld.
It's your typical point salad
game, though. But at times, though, it doesn't feel like it's a point salad. No. But it is.
It is.
What's great about this, it's a little bit more of a different step for Steffenfeld to do. It doesn't feel completely like a Steffenfeld game, though.
No.
I don't think, but it is the point salad. I mean, unlike the newest one, which didn't make the list because we just now played it.
Yeah.
Civolution. We'll talk about that one in a little while. But not on this.
No.
Because it didn't make it because we just played it. But anyway, though, yeah, this one put it up there because I know Bruges is my favorite all-time Steffenfeld game.
This, yeah.
That's a Spoiler. But this one's up there. This one's climbing the ranks of the Stuff and Fun
I
games.
think we get some more plays of this one in and really get to understanding some of the actions a little better. Yeah, this one I could see definitely climbing my list.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So that's my number 71, Marrakesh.
Yeah. That's it for this one.
Let us know if you agreed, if you liked any of these games, if you played any of these games, if you have questions about any of these games. Just put it in the comments below.
All right.
And until then, we'll see you at the next one.